Hi everybody, it's Gemma and Jan. Welcome back to Pampered Wolf. She's back on. I mean, this is so surprising. She has not been on my channel for such a long time and then all of a sudden twice in a week. So I hope you're going to enjoy this. We're going to do a foundation test. We're going to do a wear test throughout the day. It's not going to be massively long, but we are going to do a wear test of the brand new Kat Von D Lock-It Powder. Now, a while ago, I did a if I only had 10-minute video and I used this foundation, and so many of you said please do a full review on this foundation rather than just using it in that video, and also please try it out on your mum. So here we are. We're going to do that for you today. Let's do a little bit of bump on this product and then we'll get some on our faces. Okay, so this is the brand new Kat Von D Lock-It Powder Foundation. I do say it's brand new. I've had this in my drawer for quite a while now, so it's not actually that new, probably 2 to 3 months old. This is £28 in the UK, $36 in the US, which is quite pricey, I think, for a powder foundation, but if it works, it might be worth that little bit extra. At the moment, there's a 15% sale on this in Debenhams, so you can actually buy this for £23.80. So if you are in the UK, you've been wanting to try this out, now is probably the best time to buy. This comes in 26 different shades. I've gone for the shade Light 125. If you saw my video, if I only had 10 minutes, I actually wore this foundation in that video, but this was a much darker shade and really wrong for my skin colour, so I've since been back and changed it for something that suits me much, much better. This is supposed to give a full coverage, is super, super quick to apply, really long wearing, although we will find that out today. It's also supposed to be pore perfecting. It's got rice powder in there, which gives a blurring effect to the skin. It's also got kaolin in here, which is a clay mineral and gives that matte finish to the skin without it being a drying product. So they do say this suits all skin types, even dry. So for a powder foundation, we're actually going to test that out because I do have some dry patches on my skin, and my mum also has a couple of dry patches and some oily patches. So we're going to test whether this is suitable for all skin types in the wear test today. This is also vegan and cruelty-free, so let's get some of this on. Okay, so as usual, I have already applied my skincare to my face and I've given that plenty of time to sink in. Today, I have also already done any concealer that I'd got on my face because I do things slightly differently when I'm using a powder product. The last thing I want to be doing is applying a liquid product over the top of a powder because it might go a little bit cakey, and I want this to look as natural as possible. So I have applied my concealer already in the areas that I need it, and I've given that a fine dusting of powder so there's no tackiness to the surface that will make this stick to whatever dampness is left on the skin. So anywhere where this powder is going to be going, I've given it a very light dusting of powder before I've even begun. So let's get some of this on. Now, usually I wouldn't like the applicator that foundations come with. I actually really like this. I think it does a great job. It really grips to this sponge and therefore it really grips to the face. So I am going to be using this today. Quite like it. I find that you get better coverage if you use this sponge. If you're after a little bit less coverage, then just use a brush. Already full coverage when you just add it with this, which means it's really quick to apply. So as soon as I've got the product on the face and it's the coverage that I want, I take a flat brush. This is the Bare Minerals Precision Face Brush. It is extremely dense, very, very good quality brush. And I just make sure that that is blended beautifully and there's no powdery residue on the surface of the skin. This is also a great product to add over the top of a liquid foundation if you just need that little bit of extra coverage, or if you've gone a little bit patchy throughout the day, if you've been maybe hot and you just need a little bit of a touch up, then this is a great product just to mattify you down a little bit and also add coverage at the same time. So I'm really, really happy with that. I'm going to apply the rest of my products and then we are going to get my mum in this seat. Okay, so we've both got the foundation on our faces. I knew that it would look nice on my skin because I've worn this plenty of times before and it is so quick to apply. But you all wanted to know what it looked like on my mum's skin, and it looks really, really nice. But the key is to buff it into the skin with a brush after application. Otherwise it will look heavy, it will look cakey, it will look very powdery on the skin, and it will emphasize every single fine line and wrinkle that you have. So very, very important to buff it in after application. Just a little thing that I have noticed, if you are using any other powder products like blush, highlight, any contour products, these do take a little bit more product to show up on the skin because you're applying a powder on top of a powder. Anyway, we're going to show you this in natural lighting because in studio lighting it's very, very deceptive. You won't see little things that you will see in natural lighting. So we're going to show you this in natural lighting. We're going to get on with our day. Do you like it?
I do. I like it a lot actually. It's very smooth.
Very, very matte. So if you don't want a matte product, this is one to stay clear of. It does get a little bit shinier as the day goes on, but that's when you apply a tiny bit more product. And it's a great, great product because it has a lovely little mirror in the lid, so you can carry this around with you all day and do little touch-ups if touch-ups are needed. So we're going to show you this in natural lighting. We will see you all in a flash. Okay, so this is the foundation in natural lighting. I'm going to zoom you in on my mum's as well. I have a dry patch around here, and as you'll notice, it's definitely not sank into any dryness or made it seem more exaggerated because this is a powder. This is very, very similar when you buff it into the skin as the Bare Minerals powder, which really does soak into the skin and become one with the skin. Can you do that? Become one with the skin? Anyway, you know what I mean. It melts into the skin and doesn't look powdery. It looks like a liquid foundation after you've got it on your skin and buffed it in. So as you can see, it's not a full coverage, and I've had this on my skin for quite a while now because I did my face and then I've done my mum's face, so this has probably been on for a good 2 hours and still looks absolutely beautiful in my opinion. Do let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me show you my mum's. Okay, so let's just zoom in on my mum's face. As you can see, it doesn't look overly powdery. The powder has really melted into my mum's skin. It doesn't look dry in any way. It hasn't sank into any pores. In fact, it really has blurred a lot of my mum's pores. Now, I would say that this was a good medium coverage, not a full coverage, because I really did go to town on buffing this into my mum's skin to make sure that it looked beautiful and not overly heavy. It does look a little bit heavy around where I've put the concealer. That is completely my fault. In hindsight, I shouldn't have added as much concealer beforehand as I did. I think it would have looked just as nice with just the foundation, and I really shouldn't have taken the concealer that far down, so I won't do that next time. But I think it looks really beautiful on my mum's skin. What do you think, Mum?
I really like it. It's very smooth, and that's what I like. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing makeup at all, actually.
Feels really lightweight on the skin.
Yeah, it does. And I don't want a full coverage anyway. I like the medium coverage better, I think.
And with it being matte, it does blur everything down, but it doesn't look like a drying matte. It really does look quite hydrated and beautiful. So we're going to check in with you a little bit later on, and we will see you in a bit. Hi everybody, welcome back to the check-in. It's now been 8.5 hours since I first applied the Kat Von D powder foundation to my face. It's done really, really well. It's 7.5 hours since I applied it to my mum's face. We have similar wear and tear, although my mum is more of a face toucher than I am, but let's just concentrate on me for the time being, and then I will scooch you round to my mum's face. As you can see, this hasn't lasted superbly well. It isn't like a liquid foundation that everything stays in place. And I've got to say, this is a poor base for the rest of your products, especially on my mum's face. You will notice that we've had to apply blusher a couple of times throughout the day, which doesn't happen usually with a liquid foundation. Because this is powder on powder, we've had a slight issue with that, but it's lasted quite well on my face. You can see some of my acne scarring through the foundation. This is where I've had my hand on my face while I've been editing this afternoon, so my bad. On this side it is a little better where I've not really been touching my face, but this is definitely not transfer proof. This will transfer onto anything you touch, so your coat, your phone, absolutely anything. On my forehead it's done actually really well. It's going a little bit oily around my nose now, but it's not separated, and I don't think it looks cakey around my nose area. All in all, I am happy with how this foundation has worn on me. I probably won't wear it on a day-to-day basis as it is. If I'm in a rush, this is the foundation that I will reach for because it's so super quick to apply. But on a normal day-to-day basis, I will probably use this as touch-ups on a liquid foundation or over a liquid foundation to give my liquid foundation slightly more coverage. Let me just show you my mum's skin and we'll see how the foundation has lasted on her. Okay, so pretty similar, a little bit oily around the nose area and on the chin area, and we have had some rubbed off where my mum again is a face toucher. On the nose area though, this is slightly different how it's worn on my skin. Has gone a little bit cakey around the corners of the nose where my mum's got slightly oily. Perhaps I added a little bit too much product around there, or maybe I didn't buff it into the skin as well around there. I don't know whether this is my fault or whether it's the fault of the foundation, but again, the products haven't sat really well on this. This wasn't a great base. The blusher has disappeared really throughout the day. We've had a slight problem where we've had to just reapply it constantly. On the nose it's looking slightly shiny, but the product hasn't disintegrated, so it is all still there.
I think the way that I would use it is to touch up another foundation throughout the day, and I think I've used it once before and it really did minimise my pores over the top of another foundation. So I think I like it a lot, but I think I'd probably use it in that way rather than as a full face of foundation.
And do you think it's worth the £23.80 that it is in Debenhams at the moment?
Yes, the £23.80 I think I'd pay, because I think it would last me a lot longer if I used it in the way that I think I would use it. I'm not sure that I pay full price for it though.
So we hope you found this video helpful. If you have, please do give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to also follow me on Instagram if you aren't already following me on there. It's @PamperedWolf, all lowercase, no spaces. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. There is a watermark in this corner. If you click on it, it will take you through to my homepage where you can subscribe. So for now, it's bye from us. Bye.
Bye.